Next news story. Popular YouTube host accuses Wall Street Journal of canceling over $26,000 in donation funds. Wall Street Journal! Back at it again. This was in regards with their late night live stream, the Ralph Retort Kill stream. They get about 8,000 viewers. A lot of times they bring in very controversial guests like Richard Spencer, and they bring them on to debate extremist views. I think. Okay, I haven't watched any of these, and now the channel is gone, so I can't really say, but this is what I've gathered. The whole idea is that it's free speech and you should be allowed to debate these things. That's what I've gathered. What I do know is that they are more than just those type of things. They do positive things, like they helped break some of the news with the BetterHelp drama. They were the ones that figured out that YouTubers were paid $200. Per sign up, which was a key part of that whole story. Now, putting the Ralph Retort on the side for a minute, just so we can talk about YouTube Super Chat. Now, YouTube Super Chat is something that's been under fire by the media for quite a while now. BuzzFeed News posted in 17th of May, a while ago, how YouTube Super Chat system is pushing video creators towards more extreme content. For those of you who don't know, Super Chat is a way to donate during a live stream, so a text appears on the live stream to support the creator and giving them a message for the whole live stream. Now, some people take to this feature and put out offensive, heinous shit. That's the only way I can put it. Things saying like white pride worldwide while donating $100. Now, YouTube's response to this after this article was that they reviewed these live streams. This was not the Ralph Retort, there was another live stream. This is a common concept, I think not just on YouTube, but on Twitch itself, where people write offensive things as a kind of a joke to get donations. And YouTube said, we carefully reviewed the live streams that were provided by BuzzFeed and found that the content does not meet our threshold for hate speech. However, we found that the comments shared in Super Chat do. So basically the live stream themselves weren't bad, but the comments were. Then, a few weeks later, we find out that YouTube changed the system so that if a user is caught sending Super Chats, the revenue received will be donated to a charity instead of being split between YouTube and the channel's creator. Now, a lot of people were upset about this, saying, why should I have to suffer because someone wrote an offensive message? But the problem with this is that YouTube takes 30% of the Super Chats. So it's their service. And if they get caught taking money from these type of messages, it doesn't look good for YouTube. So in a way, I feel like this is a valid response. They clearly have already some system in place so that people can't make these donations to begin with, but somehow they slip through. And that's kind of part of the game with these donations, is what kind of message can we put up there that passes through the system, you know? Where have we heard that someone pull that joke before? I have no idea. Why would anyone try and test a system of what's the most offensive thing you could put out there just for the sake of comedy? I mean, how could anyone think so? Now, a lot of this stems from a report that I reported on. I mean, yeah, a few weeks ago on Pewdiepie. I don't know if you guys remember this Data Society Alternative Influence report that basically grouped in everyone that's ever collabed together on YouTube. Unironically, drawing lines that weren't even correct as well. Trying to pin it, this is how the right-wing extremists operate on YouTube, because they collaborate, that's right. They make debates, everybody. I know, it's pretty shocking. And the response from the media of this was, YouTube's alternative influence network breeds right-wing radicalization, report finds. What? Which is clearly just false. I mean, I don't know how this report proves this, because it clearly didn't. Now, a lot of these messages, they're offensive. They are made to be shocking. And the donation is a way to kind of justify it. I mean, this is just me explaining it to an adult that doesn't understand, or someone that doesn't understand the internet, I would say, or the culture on the internet. However, some donations probably are real. I mean, I can't say that every single offensive donation isn't inherently racist. They could be. Like I said, if YouTube takes 30% of that, either way, it doesn't look good for them. They won't avoid an adpocalypse. Which is ironic because Super Chat seemed like the thing that could help creators from the apocalypse as an alternative way to earn revenue. And here we are again, everybody. Now, back to the Ralph Retort. Like I said, I don't know much about it. I know they have extremist people on there. I know they debate pretty insane things. But I also know that they do good things as well. They did this charity live stream where they raised $26,000 for St. Jude's Hospital, which is to help kids with cancer. So, you know, it's something positive at least. But the problem with this is that with Super Chats, you don't get paid immediately from YouTube. I think it takes about a month or so. So in between all this happening, Wall Street Journal was peeking around to write a story about this whole thing. Voila, about a month later, it appeared that everyone that donated to this live stream, the $26,000 that was made for charity, it was made to help kids suffering with cancer, all the donations were canceled. They were not donated away like YouTube said. They were just put back, basically saying, we don't want them. And then following that, the article came out from Wall Street Journal saying hate speech on live super chat tests YouTube, which is, well, true to say the least. They talk about these offensive messages. And it also mentioned that St. Jude apparently arranged to return these donations in September. They added this feature in Super Chat where if offensive messages goes through, they would give it to charity. So now that they get offensive messages getting through for charity, they don't give the money that was supposed to go to charity for charity. They just delete it. They just say refund. Why? That makes no sense. Just take the money. St. Jude, take the money. It's 8 weeks of chemotherapy for a child. Like, put your politics aside just for a minute and say, we don't agree with it, but there's something more important maybe. I don't know. It just baffles me that this is the response to just refund the donations. However, I don't know if it's just the donations that were offensive or if it was the donations, all of the donations, like all the $26,000, was every single message offensive? I doubt it. If that was the case, like, why would they refund all of it? Just refund the ones that were offensive then. It shouldn't be that hard to figure out. You can just go through the live stream. It will take you 2 hours. Ridiculous. This also resulted into Ralph Retort's channel getting removed, which I hate because why? Again, why? If you ban someone, now I have no idea. Was it because people donated offensive stuff? Was it because something he said was wrong or a guest said was wrong? Why? What was the reason? Now, Super Chat, in my opinion, is a great tool. When I first tested it out, I was one of the first ones that got to try it. I thought this is a great way to actually get money for charity. But since YouTube takes 30% of it, it doesn't really make sense. And I know YouTube is working so that you can donate money directly towards a charity instead. And I think if that was the case, that they have that feature, this would be a lot easier. And I think all of this essentially could have been avoided if they just used then Streamlabs, which is similar. It works in a similar way as a Super Chat. Just use that instead and disable a Super Chat. I don't know if there's anyone in particular's fault. I don't think it's the kind of issue where you can just point at one person and go, it's your fault. It's a complicated issue, but ultimately, the result, money that was going to go for cancer research for kids, is gone. That's the end result of all of this, regardless whose fault that is. And that is pretty baffling to say the least. Now, what do you guys think of this? Always passing on the question to you guys.